And welcome to the Town Committee Public Hearing Budget Meeting on Thursday, September 4th, 2025 at 5:01 PM. Please silence cell phones or electronic devices. May I have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Chinotti,
Present.
Commissioner Peters,
Present.
Vice Mayor Stern,
Present?
and Mayor Moore, and Commissioner Goldberg is absent today.
Thank you.
And Town Manager Labadie,
Present.
Town Attorney Rubin.
And we all rise, please, for the pledge. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any additions or changes to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve the?
I'll make a
agenda as
motion
presented?
to approve the agenda as is.
Do I have a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? No. Okay, thank you. Presentations. First fiscal year 2026 updated operating budget presentation. Please refer this item to David Delina, Finance Director. The first reading, resolution number 2025-22. A resolution.
I'm gonna skip that. All that, he's gonna do the presentation.
Yeah, I thought you'd do that and then we'll have the second one after.
Okay,
He's gonna do the presentation.
Okay.
Presentation.
I want to redo it. Okay.
no worries.
First.
Yep, we got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
that's
he
what's
say he
first,
wants to
yeah.
do the presentation first.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I call it. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Gotcha.
David.
All right, thank you. So let's fast forward this. So this is for, you know what, I'll use my keyboard, I guess. Let's see. Okay. Maybe not. Okay, there we go. All right. So again, just to recap, let me minimize this so it's not in the way. Just to recap, we're maintaining the town's millage at 3.5875. This recognizes the 6.7% increase in our property values. Some of the changes that we made that you'll see is that what we decided to do almost to parallel with the success of building the fire station is some of the projects that we wanted to work on, the $1 million+ projects that we wanted to work on, we would budget those and then show you that we're pulling it from reserves or drawing it from reserves. That is still the case. It's just that what we're going to do is when these budgets come out of engineering and design and various procurement policies, and we have contracts, at that moment in time in the future, we will come to the board with a budget amendment, and we will be able to pull all these funds from our reserves that we've accumulated. So for example, none of the projects have slipped. It's just some of the projects that you'll see later on. What we decided to do is we decided to pull them and fund them as budget amendments in future board meetings. Some of the other changes that we had, if you recall, we had the governor didn't sign off on the FRS retirement rates. We finally got those rates, so we had a little bit of an increase there, but we were able to budget. We budgeted sufficiently enough in our first round that we were able to cover those increases, as well as we budgeted enough in the first round to cover health insurance and that estimated cost. And thankfully to the town, staff, the health insurance is still being funded by the town, and it's very gracious to all employees. So thank you. But we'll go through quickly. These are the accomplishments that obviously you've already done. Our strategic plans and initiatives, you'll see the PD Marine Dock facility, right? Those are one of the things that we had budgeted in 2026. It's not going away. It's just that when it gets to be closer to shovel ready, then what happens is we will then bring a budget amendment at that time, and we will just pull the money from the excess reserves. Okay. And same thing with the old fire station, right? Our priority, nothing has changed with the water and sewer projects and the other projects, just those big projects that take a little bit more runway space, have you, to land or to take off, we need a little bit more time. So those, again, these are the rates. They haven't changed since your June preliminary budget hearing, and
And haven't changed in 3
yeah,
years.
yeah, since 2022. Right, exactly. And again, our goal based on, because remember, this time next year, we'll do another 5-year forecast, right, of where we think the town is going to be. And so we'll continue that plan. This right here, you've seen this. This is what makes up our millage. All right. We've seen this. We've seen that we've kept it steady. These right here are the different components that make up the millage. The next page is, you guys have seen this slide here. You live this slide. You see the increase in property values. You see the change in property values over time. And now you see where we're at today. We are coming off slowly. It's not a 90-degree drop off a cliff, but it looks like a nice landing spot at property growth, being a little bit more reasonable in nature, but really getting out of the double digits there. And that's what that's showing there. Next, our general fund, and that over 74% of the money that comes in from the general fund is property taxes, right? And that's just what this chart is saying. And you can see all the other forms of money that comes in, either from the state of Florida or various franchise fees or what have you, that makes up the general fund revenues. Okay. And so when we look at them, this right here, what we're looking at here is from 2024 actual, 2025 budget, where we are already through the month of July, and our estimate for 2025, as well as now our proposed budget. And you can see things fluctuate. Like, for example, grants, you can see there that we're not, last year we had to use up the final amount of ARPA funds. That's why you see grant dollars drop off there. We had to use them up last year. We were successful at doing that, and we're in compliance with that. And so now you can see this year in 2026 budget, we're not expecting any more ARPA funds. So that's why that one there's negative. But, the other thing too, to draw your attention from, we're not pulling from our reserves. So you see appropriation from reserves, right? That's zero. Okay. So we're not pulling money from our reserves or our savings account for this budget, and it's well balanced.
And again, the reason for that, because our initial budget proposal did show dollars coming out of the reserves, but we are having to hold back on that until we see contracts on projects, in which we will adjust with a budget amendment.
Yes.
So
yes.
then we'll come and say we need X dollars from reserves to complete this project and this project, rather than showing in the budget now, because the timing, marine docking facility will be next fiscal year,
Right.
not this fiscal year. So there's a little bit of timing issues with that.
It just makes it a little bit more cleaner on a budget standpoint.
Mhm.
So here you can see, how the dollars are allocated. Now what you're looking at is the general fund expenditures. You can see now this includes all of your departments in the general fund, and you can see that we adjusted the cost of living adjustment. We've accounted for the change in health insurance. We've now updated the data for retirement costs. And then you can also see the change there, the one drop off there. You can see under capital outlay, again, the projects aren't going away. We're just not budgeting them. We're going to use the reserves that drop to the bottom line, i.e. retained earnings. We're going to use those reserves in the future when we bring you budget amendments for these projects. This right here, if you recall, the general fund has a bunch of little departments, right? And so these right here are all your departments. You can see that the reason why Public Works is less is because we had budgeted to start the old fire station, right, as capital projects, right? And so we're now, again, we're going to push that a little bit forward until we get contracts and procurement and final designs. And so we're just, that's one of the biggest changes there. But you can see overall, your fund, the general fund in nature, you know, is going to grow about 4%. So that seems very, very reasonable. Your fund balance, this is where your strength is, right? This is your ability to really have zero or near zero, especially in the general fund, near zero interest expense, right? You know, and so you can see here that your fund balance is extremely strong. We can decide, we don't have to decide now, but we can decide anytime in the future how much we want to send to fire rescue. I put an estimate in there of an additional 500,000. We had 250 in there. And remember, our goal was to fund for those larger capital expenditures that come with our own fire department for new fire trucks and fire apparatuses.
So with that, on the 18th meeting, our next public hearing meeting, if this stuff generally looks good, and I'll get a head nod from y'all today, I'm going to bring an amendment to the fund balance policy to adjust for now and for future years. The current fund balance policy language really speaks to the implementation of the fire department. So I'm going to change that to a fire department sinking fund. We'll set it at 750, and then in the future through a resolution, you can add more or take it away as needed to fund fire rescue purchases. Usually for apparatus is what a sinking fund is, or bunker gear, or some other type of one-off item that seems to be quite large. So
Marshall, so we're really saying we're comfortable with our operational cash flow and the support and our reserves right now, and there's nothing right now that could actually change that we know of.
I mean, a hurricane could change anything.
Hurricane, yeah.
Outside of that, everything is anything that's generally within our control. We all know control's an illusion, but everything that we have the ability to manage,
Got it.
we're in good spot. And if David had his little, your little,
Yes. Which one do you want to go back?
no, just this slide. Do you have your later pointer?
Oh, yes.
Point at the fund balance, go up, appropriation to reserve, right? That number, that's from this year. We're anticipating we're gonna have $1.5 million drop out because we didn't do one of those
Right.
major projects
Yeah.
this year. And then next year, as it's proposed, another $1 million falls out. So we have $2.5 million over this year and next year. If we don't do any projects, would fall out
Yep.
into
Got it.
the reserves. But we anticipate coming back to you and saying, now we need X amount of these dollars.
Yes.
And please let us use that and
Yeah.
things of that
So
nature.
when we bring a budget amendment to you, we're going to tell you, here's the expenditure. And then you're going to say, well, where are you going to get the money from?
Mhm.
Right. And I'm going to say, oh, we're pulling it from our excess reserves, our retained earnings, like a company would accumulate.
Mhm.
We're not going to a bank to bring money in.
Yep.
That's our funds.
Got it.
So, anyway, so very well positioned. Discretionary sales tax, you guys heard this, it's going away, right? And so we knew this going into it. We knew that, so right now we're budgeting for some of these projects down here on the lower right. We have the police department and public works, crosswalks, things like that. We're going to start to use up those funds because the faucet that fills that fund is going to be shut off at December 31st. And then in the future, we won't be getting any more, but we'll be able to draw down. And that's what we're doing. But you guys knew that.
Mhm.
So that's the discretionary fund. And the reason why it's a separate fund is because it's restricted. And so that's why we keep it in a separate fund. So here's your building department. Building department continues to be strong. And we continue to benefit from everything that's happening. They continue to meet or exceed our budget estimates. And again, you know, we're pulling money in this one, see appropriation from reserves. So what that means is from reserves, I'm pulling money in because we're going to try to do some capital projects using this fund's dollars. And so, but again, they continue to do well, and we're always pleased about that.
There've been no changes as far as rates and so forth that was discussed earlier. Everything is maintained the way it was discussed.
Yeah, you'll have a rate fee resolution on the 18th, whereby Jeff has proposed, and you all seemed comfortable with that 12% fee reduction in the fee structure. So that comes on the 18th.
Good.
Right. Yep. And so again, here are the expenditures of that fund. You can see that one of the largest is capital outlay, and we'll show you what that is. But look at the dollar. This right here is that department. The dollar, or the $100 is how it's split up is very reasonable. You got 32% of your labor costs, right? You have operating costs there. You got capital outlay, and then you got transfers out. We did increase that in this year because the general fund, it has to manage a lot more building activity. And so as that fund continues to grow, we keep looking at how much they have to send over to the general fund. And this is all normal. All we're trying to do is we're trying to allocate their apportionate share of the general fund and their expenditures. So, and matter of fact, that number there gets audited every year. We present that to the auditors and our method of allocating the expenditures. And so that's what that is. But you can see here that the very bottom line is that $4+ million that they have, $4.1 million that they have in estimated fund balance is why we have to start lowering.
And again, similar to the general fund, you'll see dollars falling to reserves this year in the amount of 543,000. Most of that was to be allocated, or 65% of it was supposed to be allocated to a capital project this year that didn't happen.
Right.
So when we bring those budget amendments back, they'll be bifurcated, meaning it'll be large chunk general fund, a little bit of building to execute the projects that we had planned this year that we won't get till next year. So
Right.
we'll walk you through the budget amendments every time we bring it up and remind you how we're doing it. But those dollars that we're going to reach back for dropped out in this current fiscal year into the bank account, if you will.
Yep.
For which we get to earn interest on. So that's good.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. And you can see there the capital expenditures that, the roof, chillers, entrance and various other capital expenditures, probably some software in there that they're updating. But again, extremely healthy. And I think Jeff is doing an okay job. The next one is the water fund, right? The water fund, and the water fund, as discussed, we knew that the rates were going up 5%, right? But I want you to understand that the water and sewer fund are also a success story, because I want you to keep in mind that the general fund used to subsidize, right? We used to have to send money over there to make that thing whole, okay? And so through the town's commitment to make sure that this enterprise fund, this and the sewer fund, are able to stand on their own with rate increases and things like that based on user fees, right? We were able to do that. And so one of the great things you can see, charges for service are predominantly the source of revenue for this one, but it's doing great. We assume that now you may say, well, you have a 5% increase, but why do you think revenues are going to go up 6.2? Well, that's based on consumption, right? Because we're increasing the rates, but as you'll see in the next couple of slides, people continue to use more water, which is a good thing. And here you go. You can see all the lines, all the trend lines are up and to the right, right? Some are a little bit more flatter than others, but overall, what you're looking at here is this is from 2022 through 2025, all the cycles. We have 6 cycles, and you can see, right? You can see there, and you can also see the seasonality, right? Of what is Highland Beach. You can see, and now, oh, by the way, you're looking at gallons, and the gallons you're looking at, you got to put 3 zeros in front of that. So that's how many gallons. I mean, we're talking hundreds of millions of gallons that our community uses. And so when you translate that into what it looks like revenue, you can see, right, that compared to last year, you know what, we're going to be up about 11% on the water and about 13% on the irrigation. Now, part of that is because of rate increases. The other part of that is because increase in consumption, right? And so that's why we're comfortable with a reasonable 5% as an inflationary hedge, as well as some projects that we have. But here you can see again the $100 bill there, nice evenly spread out. We did increase the salaries. We did look at preliminary operating expenses. Some of our operating expenses dropped off a little bit, but that's because of renewing permits and what have you, but all that's normal. We have level debt service. Matter of fact, when you talk about debt service, here you go is debt service. We knew that this system in the long run, as we begin to pay down debt, right? Debt service tends to go down. And you can see here that we are in the FY 25-26 cycle, and you can see how much it dropped off. And so the next drop in our debt service doesn't happen until 2029. And so again, every time we're able to drop off debt payments, that just makes us stronger, right? So this one here has the net position, it's decreasing a little bit because we're trying to get to those capital projects. Water and sewer is like owning a boat, okay? But it's always going to be capital intensive. And so that's understandable. But we feel like we have enough days cash on hand, as well as the girth of the general fund, that we can withstand any type of storm, or we could possibly do in the future, if an emergency, an interfund loan. So we're not concerned about this too much. Next is the sewer fund. The sewer fund, again, the main driver in the sewer fund this year is we're pulling money out of the fund's reserves to do the sewer lining project. That's the big takeaway here, and so that's the goal. That's why the expenditures have increased so much. Again, this one here anticipates a 5% increase in rates, not only base, but consumption. And you can see here, this right here is their trend line. Their trend line, again, is also up and to the right. On the top right, you're looking at gallons and thousands of gallons. And the bottom left, you're looking at the revenue. Okay. Now, sometimes it flattens out like that because, as you're aware, the residents are capped at 20,000 gallons, right? So there's a cap. So we can't, so if you use, let's say you use 25,000 gallons of water, right? We're only going to bill you 20,000 gallons of sewer. Because we understand, and that's industry normal, by the way, we understand that not all of the water that you use is going to run through the sewer system, and that we're going to get charged on it. So that's normal. But again, very healthy. They're standing on their own, and we're definitely pleased with that. And this right here is their expenditures. As you can see, the biggest one is capital expenditures, right? The capital expenditures. That's really what's going to push that. We have operating expenditures through the city. They treat our sewer. We still have I think 6 lift stations, right? We've got to pump it to get it to their interconnect, right? Mm-hmm. And then they have a meter on their end, and they charge us. So it's a good partnership, and it works out well.
Excuse me, the metering for charge. Where does the metering take place? As it comes down through Delray at the end, or when it leaves our town?
There's one station basically right at the border with the town, and there's a big meter in there, the larger vault, and then it converts it to a low pressure and pushes it through Delray. Yep.
But let me tell you something. You're going to get a benefit once you finish the sewer lining, right? You're going to get you're going to see this change.
That's where I'm coming.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So anyway, so here you can see, we're working on lift stations. The sewer lining project is this year. You can see that, Operating days cash, even without that, is still in the 151 days, 149 days. And we're still moving forward with that project. So that's definitely included in this budget. And so finally, this right here, what you're looking at here is the sources of all your revenue by fund, right? And then we have what we call the uses. So that's why it's important. That's how governments, we look at sources and uses of funds. And so here you can see it's well balanced by fund. It is balanced, and the total expenditure and uses total up to be the $32,241,402. Now, the interesting thing about a budget is we can't go above that by fund without coming to you first. So that's where the budget amendment in the process happens. So there's a great thing there, but if you have questions, the dollars didn't change, just the methodology of how we're going to handle future capital projects has. So on certain projects.
Thank you. Does the commission have any further questions?
No.
Okay, excuse me. I'll open up for a public hearing. Is there any questions? Hearing no public comments. We'll now close the public hearing for this item. Go ahead and read the resolution.
Sure.
Okay. Resolution number 2025-022. A resolution of the Town Commission, of the Town of Highland Beach, Florida, approving a final millage rate of 3.4159 mils for the town's general operating funds for the fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026, providing for the final millage rate of 3.4159 mils is 7.1200% greater than the computed rollback rate of 3.1889 mils, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. Could I have a motion to approve the
Yeah,
resolution?
we'll make a motion to approve resolution number 2025-022, adoption of millage rate for 2025-2026.
Second,
Have a roll call, please.
Commissioner Peters,
Yes.
Commissioner Janowski,
yes.
and Vice Mayor Stern.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Excuse me. The next item is resolution number 2025-023. A resolution of the Town Commission, the Town of Highland Beach, Florida, approving a final budget for fiscal year beginning October 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2026, determining and fixing the amounts necessary to carry on the government of the town for the ensuing year, providing for severability, conflicts, and an effective date. Is there any comments, David? Additional comments on this?
No, sir.
Okay, then any commission comments or questions?
No.
Hearing none, any public comments? Hearing none, I ask for a motion to approve resolution number 2025-023.
I make a motion to approve the resolution number 2025-023, adoption of the 2025-2026 budget.
May I have a roll call, please?
I second that.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Peters,
Yes.
Commissioner Janowski,
Yes.
and Vice Mayor Stern.
Yes,
Motion carries.
thank you. Is there any town manager report?
I think we covered most of it as to what we'll see at the 18th meeting. You'll see the fee schedule. You'll see the PBA contract for resetting the 3-year contract that was approved 11-0 yesterday. You will also be presented with an interlocal agreement with the town of Manalapan for code enforcement. We're going to send our guy over there for about 8 hours? 4 hours. 8 hours a week. They'll pay us rate plus. So it all works out, and that'll come to you along with the 2 final resolutions closing out the fiscal year.
Thank you.
Yep.
The next commission meeting will be September 18th, 2025 at 5:01. Town Commission second public hearing, the budget meeting. Hearing that, call for an adjournment at 5:30.